This is Kate Beckinsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
Hey guys, can you guess what the following pairings have in common? David Hasselhoff and Paul Rubens, Robin Williams and Christopher Reeve, Michael Douglas and Danny DeVito.
They were roommates.
Oh my gosh, they were roommates.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
Wait, they really were?
Yeah,
all those?
all
Obviously.
those. Also, Andrew Garfield, Jamie Dornan, and Eddie Redmayne.
All together roommates?
They were roommates.
Tear 'em.
What?
Share the roommates.
Tear 'em? Andrew Garfield 1. Hello.
Obviously.
Stop. Jamie Dornan 2.
Yeah.
That's a hot take.
Oh.
Wow.
The Oscar winner gets number 3? Yeah.
He's a bit whiny.
Well, welcome to Baconsale. I'm Joel.
I'm Kent.
And I'm Zack.
And thanks for listening to our last episode, our movies of 1986.
What's that from?
Courtney, 1986? No? Okay.
Nope.
Never mind.
What?
Yeah.
Inside joke for Joel?
For me.
Okay.
And all those that celebrate.
Anyway, Sam Ma of the famous Ma Family Treat Review says, I don't remember much about 1986, but this episode still brought back a flood of nostalgia.
Aww.
The warm feelings came crashing down when you started bashing on sports movies.
Rudy's
Was it
overrated.
me? Well, it was kind of me.
Listen, I'm the sports friend of Sam, and I don't like sports movies. Jonathan Vasquez says, I support the John Carpenter show idea, mostly because Joel will have to watch Christine again.
Yes.
Not
You have
gonna
to.
happen. No.
You must.
If I have a review for it, it counts. I don't have to watch it again. Loophole.
But it's for Halloween.
That's okay.
Yeah. No, it's
I have
special.
other movies I can watch. Mm-hmm. Maybe that star Christine. I don't know. But that's not what we're talking about today. What are we talking about today, Zach?
Roommates.
Roommates.
They were roommates.
Roommate.
We're talking about roommate etiquette, don't you know?
Hey, fellas.
Yes.
It's been a long time.
Etiquette.
It's been a long time.
We have manners again?
Yes, we've done bathroom etiquette, movie theater etiquette, dating etiquette, office etiquette, social media etiquette, driving etiquette, spoiler etiquette, restaurant etiquette, and airplane etiquette.
Please never say etiquette again.
Etiquette.
I love the way that you're like, I'm going to be all fancy, but the first word out of my mouth is bathroom.
We've done bathroom. Yes, because here's the thing. We are a pop culture entertainment show, but people look to us for advice.
I look at us not as pop culture, but proper culture.
Proper pop culture? Say that 10 as fast.
Culture.
Prop culture.
Yes.
So
I've melted.
these shows, the way they typically run, and this one as well, is that we've gathered your feedback from our social media channels. We put out a question a while back, and we said, hey, we need your help for an upcoming episode, and you came through and gave us some suggestions. We're going to take a look at those, but we'll get there eventually, because right now, we're going to talk about roommates. Now, gentlemen, neither one of you are in a roommate type situation right now.
I am. Mine is very nice.
Right, but marriage roommates
Wait a
is
minute.
different from...
I'm the only one that's not.
Marriage roommates is a little different, because I think for this episode, we're primarily focusing on...
Eternal roommates. That's cute.
Yeah. But we're focusing on kind of the college roommate situation, or maybe a single life roommate situation.
Actually, I do have a roommate right now. Shout out to my mom who moved into my house.
Hey,
There you
finger
go.
boop.
Boop. Yeah, that's true. Hey, no, Joel. Actually, let's turn this
Jeez,
around
Joel.
on you.
Joel doesn't care for his mom.
We're the only ones who actually have roommates right now.
That got real weird.
It's a weird overlap.
Yeah.
This is a bizarre diagram.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go with that. But mostly I was talking about like college roommates.
Yeah, I guess-
I like my mom way better than them.
This is a tough show because we're going to be like, back in the day when I was in college, here's what I did wrong or right, or here, I guess, what would be our expectations if we were to happen to get an odd couple roommate at this point?
Based on some of the feedback, though, of somebody who's like actively in college and has a roommate, it's not that different from my experience.
Well, and
I don't think it's changed all that.
Even
Right.
post college, there's people out there who are kind of just doing their own thing, have roommates, and they have to do.
That was me.
But the nice thing about roommate etiquette is that it is kind of universal and kind of just like forever, evergreen. That's the word I'm looking for. Like you could always say to people, "Hey, if you're a roommate, basic good behavior, don't pick up the phone line when your other roommate's on the internet, or it could cut them off." Like these are basic.
It's a little
things.
outdated, slightly.
Everyone
outdated.
can benefit from that. What are you talking about, Zach? Do you know what we're talking about?
Zach, could you make the noise that the internet the dial-up used to make? Yeah, dare you again.
Not the Lady Gaga soundtrack.
Mama, mommy, internet.
Anyway, save it for our internet etiquette show.
Yeah.
We did a social media one, but
Joel at his internet cafes.
but now we're gonna
Land party.
But what I was going to say is,
VPNs. What are we saying? Just words?
yes. What I was going to say is that this advice that we're going to be giving today can be applicable to those who are in a marriage situation, or in a shared house situation, or in an apartment situation, college dorm situation. Yeah. Because we're approaching the time where some people are going to be starting college for the first time, and they could listen to this episode and know, oh, that's how to be a good roommate.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, right? Because in my sphere, I have several friends. I know many people who are divorced, and they find themselves in this economy having to get roommates.
Yeah.
And so, there's college. And I will say, maybe when you're in your 20s, manners are not as good, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, as you grow up, manners are better. And I feel like that's where I come into play, because I wasn't a good roommate.
Go on.
I made a lot of mistakes. This will show up as I talk about these rules, because almost every rule I'm giving is opposite the behavior of which I showed. And I feel bad, and I need to be redeemed, which is why I may be a little more strict on this show. For example, when I first went to college, I was living in Provo, and I had 5 roommates, for a small room.
Yeah.
It was me and
Small
one
apartment.
other guy.
Yeah.
In one very small room.
Yeah.
And obviously I had close friends, and I had people that I knew decently enough to become their roommates. And I was poor, and I was selfish. And what did I do? Some of the rules that basically everyone's going to judge me. I'd sneak food.
Other people's food?
Steal food from roommates. But guess what?
Are we talking an M&M from the jar, or we're talking a full loaf of bread?
Just enough milk to to put liquid in my cereal.
No, you were the roommate who just went straight from the jug to your lips.
Never.
Oh, you were the
roommate. You were the roommate. That other roommates had to draw a little black line on their milk to make sure.
Can I tell this story? I feel like it's a little early in the show.
Sure, tell a story.
Okay, so between my roommate and I, and we were kind of mischievous, we would steal some milk here and there. Then all of a sudden we came back from a weekend at home, and we showed up, and we looked in the fridge, and there was 2 roommates named Luke and Travis, and they were best friends, and they were like our arch rivals at the apartment,
because they were best friends,
and they shared food, and on everything they owned they wrote in Sharpie LT to say, this is not yours if you are not L or T. And guess what?
Did they pay money for it?
They were right.
Yeah.
I mean, their parents paid money. They were right. So do you know what we did? Travis kept a quarter change tray in his room, and we'd go to Movies 8 in Provo all the time on 50-cent Tuesdays. We just go steal money out of his change tray.
My gosh.
I was horrible.
So it's not just food, you're stealing money now?
Yeah, straight up. Travis and I are good friends. I've never paid him back, but I've said sorry a few times. I feel like it counts. Guys, that's what I'm saying. I need to be redeemed.
You're saying if you didn't have Travis's quarters, you would not be a movie critic today.
Probably. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, I watched Norbit based on stolen money.
Thank you, Travis, for your sacrifice.
No, seriously, I say that to say
that's why your favorite band is Travis.
that's it. Thank you for remembering. That's so sweet.
Welcome.
I just want to be redeemed here, and I'm going to be a little tough, because if I could go shake younger me and say, just go buy a gallon of milk.
That's not how you say it. If I could turn back time.
What kind of roommates were you guys? Be honest. Were you perfect, or were you just ambivalent about things, like cleaning, for example?
I was the ghost roommate.
Oh, okay. That's going to come up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again was the bad roommate. Zach was the ghost.
I tried to be a non-existent entity within my place.
Yeah.
Okay. So right when I first went to college, I lived in student style housing. It wasn't officially sanctioned student housing, but it was 4 private rooms and 1 common space. 2 bathrooms.
Yep.
Okay, so 2 guys.
Sounds about right.
2 guys, 2 bathrooms.
Yeah.
I specifically wanted, though, I wanted the private room. I didn't want to share a room. So I have not had the pleasure of having, the larger dorm room with 2 people in them.
Yeah.
I
privilege.
Never spent time in the living room. I was in the kitchen as little as possible. I didn't want to be seen by my roommates. I was just in my room.
You were the phantom.
Yeah.
That you would walk by. They're eating food in the kitchen.
Yes.
You would quickly walk by like a shadow passes.
What was that?
I occasionally had conversations with my roommate, because he was we shared the bathroom, and his door was right next to the bathroom door. Occasionally I walked by while he was gaming, and we had a brief 30-second chat, and I went, well, I hope I don't talk to him for another 2 weeks. I just tried to be completely
I can see this
absent.
actually.
And then flash forward to just a couple years ago, where I lived in a house it wasn't like a dorm, it was just a house.
Yeah, right.
one of my roommates was the Bacon Sale, friend of the show,
alumni,
Mats.
Yeah.
What's up, Mats?
And he was one of my roommates, by the way. Great roommate. But I just tried to not be there. I tried to not be seen. I tried to be I was like, how can I shower in a way that no one will know I exist?
Wow.
I'm the Phantom.
So the moocher, the Phantom. Joel, what about you?
I was the rule follower.
Of course you were.
Now, when I first...
I would steal your milk.
When I first became a roommate, I was down at BYU, and it was in the dorms.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to be a roommate. I kind of got there, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So, I remember I had a guy in the room.
Were you a teenager, or was this in your 20s?
This is in my 20s.
Okay.
This is post-mission.
Yeah.
So, but the guy I was with, he was pre-mission. But we got put in this room. I don't know this guy. And so I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't know how to be a roommate. And so I'd get done with my homework and be like, well, I guess it's time for bed. And I just go to bed. And the dorms are literally cinder blocks with 2 beds in them.
Totally.
And I always felt bad because I just go to bed and turn off the light. And then my roommate, who was doing whatever, would just kind of leave the room. And at first I thought, oh, he's annoyed by me.
Yeah.
He's bothered by me.
Okay.
And then I don't know, about a week or 2 into it, I kind of was like, well, what is everyone else doing? I walked out, and he was being a nice roommate. He saw me going to sleep. He's like, oh, I don't want to disturb him.
Yeah.
So he'd go hang out in the other rooms and hang out with
Okay.
the other guys who were just up having a good time. And suddenly I realized, oh, bedtime's not really a thing here.
Yeah.
So I started hanging out with more people, and we started to have a lot more fun, and it was great.
Yeah.
So talk to your roommates, what I'm saying. But then, once I got established as kind of in the apartment, I was the one that was like, okay, guys, we got to make sure, here's the bill. We all got to split this up. Okay, here's, the kind of, not the chore chart. We didn't have a chore chart, but kind of
wait,
you got to make sure you got to do your dishes.
So from the age of 21 years old, you were the dad.
I was the dad.
You've always been the dad.
Well, I was very non-confrontational, too. I definitely was the type that was like,
The mooch, Phantom, and the dad. That's what we got.
my band's name in college.
What kind of music did you guys play?
We actually did a cappella choirs.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, that's college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It does.
Just cleaning checks. The cleaning checks.
Okay. Here's the thing. I hated them because I dreaded them. Are they necessary? Absolutely.
They are.
But
Sadly,
is
they
it
are.
disgusting to clean that bathroom floor if that's your job? It should have been done before. We'll get to that. But I feared them.
Okay.
I
You
found
like
myself.
them?
No.
My very first cleaning check was deep cleaning an oven I'd never used.
Ew.
So you were a
Never
little spiteful.
And I worked at Sizzler.
Yeah.
And I went, hey, kitchen, what do I got to clean ovens? And they're like, here's some commercial grade oven cleaner that I took back to the casa. Pretty sure it took every coating of that oven off.
Yeah, it's
Shouldn't have been
intense.
used. It was clean though. Definitely passed that cleaning check.
Cleaning checks for me were up and down just because I understand the importance of them. It was like, okay, let's
Yeah.
make sure the apartment's clean. And for the most part, I kept my area clean and I kept it clean. But it drove me nuts when I get the ones that were the white glove. There's you have some dust on the top of your windowsill here. And I'm like, really?
Some Ariana power trip.
But I definitely used to my advantage when I was dating a pretty young woman. When the cleaning check guy came over, she's not my wife, but when the cleaning guy came over, she helped with the cleaning, and then she was totally there when the guy came over. Was like, "Oh, good to see you again." And he was like, "Oh, hi."
Distraction tactics.
Totally, and it worked. But the house was clean.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
I wish I dated in college.
It was fun. So I also want to ask you guys any unusual roommate stories. Just fun stories. They don't have to be etiquette. But
Do you want them to
stories.
be fun or kind of dangerous and weird?
Either way.
So one time I get home from work.
Okay.
And my roommate, the guy who I don't want to talk to, but I kind of call him my bathroom mate because it makes sense, right? We shared a bathroom.
Yeah.
And he was himself a little odd. I mean, this was right as I go to college. I'm 18 years old. He was 31 and didn't go to school there. Why are you still here, dude? Anyway,
Yeah.
So he's like, dude, I have to tell you something. We had a roommate that had just moved in. He's like, that new guy? Yeah, his parole officer just showed up.
Oh.
And then he's like, and I looked into him.
Oh.
And his story was on the news of him doing
no.
things
Oh, no.
that he shouldn't have been doing.
And this is a roommate that you currently had.
He had been there a week. That it got him on a list. Yeah.
Oh.
And so it was like, well, the new guy,
He was on a registry.
I got to get out of here.
Oh.
Luckily, I moved a month later. But he was a weirdo.
Yeah. A little bit.
What else you got?
So I had a roommate. He was an Idaho guy, real gruff, real tough. He could beat me up easily. And by the way, his roommate removed the bed because they shared a room, removed the bed from the room. He's a hippie and he slept in the closet because it was a walk-in closet.
Yeah.
And that was weird because he wanted just his own room. He slept on the floor in the closet. Kind of weird. Anyways, this gruff roommate, he was a drinker. He's a little bit of a drinker. And he would watch, he would fall asleep to movies very loud in the living room. He's the only one that really used it. And it was back in the day when DVDs would just play the start screen again and again and again. You'd hear that music from your room, from the other side of the apartment all the time.
Awful.
And twice walked in there. And one time he was bent over a chair, like he fell down, he tripped and fell asleep on his face.
Oh, no.
So his legs are in the air, his face is on the ground. Floor covered in vomit.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, roommates.
Ken, this is the second episode in a row where you brought up vomit.
I'm so sorry, but it's just one of those things where I'm like, this is what it's like to live with people I didn't choose to.
Well, it is weird how people just don't... I don't know how people don't know how to live with other people. Like, most of these people are coming from families, right?
Yeah.
They had to deal with siblings.
But
they did chores,
it may
I'm
be their
assuming.
first time really experiencing the selflessness, or maybe...
I guess, but the first apartment I was in, there were 6 people living in there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I think so,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So 6 people in this tiny apartment, everyone 2 to a room. And like, I remember one of the guys was just, there were some nice guys in there, but one of the guys was just really kind of odd. And he invited some of his other friends to come live with us for a couple months.
Oh, we're
without
going to talk
talking to
about
the
that.
roommates.
We have to talk about this.
And one of the people he invited to live, they said they were in the witness protection program. These 2 guys, these 2 brothers, and one of them didn't have any bedding, and so he slept in a bear suit on the couch at night. He'd like put on that bear suit you have.
Yeah,
Ken?
is it mine that I have?
It may be, but he like pulled it up on him, and he'd sleep like with the head on and everything on the couch at night. That's where he slept. And the one roommate who invited them to stay way longer than they should have in this time, like we already had 6 guys there.
Yeah.
Just add another 2.
Wow.
And he tried to buy us off by buying like a pack of ramen and a jug of Tampico, and being like,
So he spent $3.40.
Yes. He's like, I'm sorry, guys. Here. It was just awkward.
Wow.
I have another roommate one, but not technically a roommate. When I first moved into this college dorm-ish thing, there was a bunch of crap piled in the corner of the living room. Like, what's that? He's like, oh, that was the other guy who was in your room, but they asked me to move your stuff out. I guess his brother is going to come pick it up. I'm like, that's a little bit weird.
It's going to be awkward. Okay.
What happened there? He's like, oh, he's in jail. So the guy who lived in my room before was in jail. Oh, but there's more. When
Zack has a type.
when I get my key, there's like we don't actually have like the real key. So you can have this one for now. What key did they give me? The master's like skeleton key to the entire complex.
Wow.
3 buildings.
The power. I could steal so much milk
It
with
was
that.
like it was a key that like all of the little blades and stuff were completely low.
Yeah.
And I could unlock everything. I tested it on the neighbors next door.
Cool.
Yeah. Why do I have this, right? Well, why did I have the master key? Because they didn't get the key from the guy who went to jail.
Meaning
And
he
how
can
did I find that out?
access-
When during Thanksgiving break,
Oh no.
he uses the key, unlocks
it's
the door,
your
walks
room.
in, steals our stuff.
No.
A brand new MacBook, back when they were white and plastic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Taken. Taken out of my room.
They didn't like rekey the doors?
Nope.
That is awful.
Yeah.
But okay. So just real quick, I want to
Okay,
you just reminded
sure.
me of something because that seems like a basic thing.
In case you don't know, this is a swapping stories episode.
Yeah,
Basically, yeah,
It's a bacon bit.
It's pop culture, but it's also just us talking to each other. So there was a time when a roommate was cooking in the kitchen and they started a fire, a grease fire.
Yeah.
Like it started up in the pan. It was like, oh no. And he goes and gets a thing of water to go throw in the grease fire.
Here we go.
And I'm like, don't put water on it, you idiot. Like slap it out of his hand, grab some baking soda and start pouring it all over there. And I was like basic fire 101. Don't put water on a grease fire. It splashes everywhere. Baking soda.
Now
put
you
a lid
know.
on it. Do what
Sure.
you can. Put it out. The more you know.
Good
But
job.
then after we get it out, I notice in the vent above, they have the grill vent above the stove, flames inside there. It had caught grease on fire inside, like in the trap there, and there was fire. I could see through the little air slats fire in there. And I'm like, what do we do? And the reason I bring this up is because I ran looking for a fire extinguisher all through our apartment, couldn't find one. Ran outside, couldn't, to the neighbors, couldn't find one in theirs. Ran around the complex, like this is all like happening within seconds.
Yeah.
I cannot find a fire extinguisher. I'm like, basic necessity
Some
of an
days you
apartment
just can't
complex.
get rid of a bomb.
Yes. So you know what I ended up doing? I ran to our
Threw a MacBook at it.
I ran to our closet. This is just how the Joel brain worked in that moment. I ran into a closet and pulled out a pink jacket that we had for like a Halloween costume. We were in pink instead of in sync. It was a whole thing.
Of course.
Oh my gosh.
Wrapped it around my fist.
Joel.
Story.
Yeah. He's so cute.
Wrapped it around my fist and started punching the underside of the vent to get the trap out, and ended up knocking the whole thing down. The fire came down. It was on top of the stove, and then ended up kind of patting it down.
Okay.
So
Joel's a hero. Everybody.
No, not a hero.
Joel, good job.
Hey, you know, your stuff got stolen. You know that what that reminds me of? I'm awesome, and I saved the whole building from fire.
No,
Very related stories.
No, point being is I was like, how does this complex, who gets away with not having a fire extinguisher when children are living there?
That's not what I got from the story at all, Joel.
No, because I was thinking like the key, I'm like, the basic thing would be like, oh, this person left and they're a danger, rekey the whole building.
We don't have their key.
Yeah.
So there's just a key out there.
Change
Somebody
the
who
lock.
went to jail.
Change the lock.
Maybe let's change that.
Wow.
So,
Okay, we're going to talk about rules.
yes.
And how we're going to approach this.
Now you share a story about how you're awesome.
I don't have one. I'm greedy and I stole stuff, and I'm sorry.
So one time, my front door neighbor, also a fire.
Yeah.
I just walked in and put a lid on it. She was freaking out.
Yeah.
Oh, gets the fire?
I did
Yeah.
save the day.
Yeah. See, we're awesome. Ken, what'd you do?
What
You know what I did?
What building did you
I
save
went
the fire?
hot tubbing till about 2 a.m, and then I went to bed and tried to not wake up my roommate when I snuck in there.
Good job,
And I'm
Ken.
sure I did every time. In fact, one time I was locked out, and I had to throw pebbles at the window at 2 a.m. to get him out of bed to let me in because I was cold.
You know,
We're talking about stories about being cool, not cold, Ken.
you know that
Just
that,
being honest.
That was an inside thought.
Yeah.
Just had.
No, listen, I have to share this because I need to do better.
All right. Well, we have some rules that we're going to be talking about today. Our own personal rules we're coming to the table with. And then we're going to give them essentially tiers, but in the spirit of the theme of this episode, if we strongly agree.
Yeah, like this should be on
this
the
should
rule
be a
chart.
rule
Yeah.
that everyone should follow. We're going to give it a BFF.
Cute.
Because when you have a good roommate, eventually you could become BFFs.
And I have.
Fun fact, in that first apartment, no, excuse me, not the dorm one. When I got thrown into the other apartment, the one where the fire is, with the 6 guys, a few of them were weird, some of them were nice, and then one of them is one of my best buddies.
Yeah.
To
Isn't
this
that great?
day. To this day.
Yeah.
Randomly put together. Who knows? So that's tier 1. Like strongly agree, BFFs. The second one, where we somewhat agree, but it's not like a hard and fast rule, that is keep in touch occasionally.
You know what, Travis? Keep in touch.
That's the Facebook friend that you're like, oh yeah, I remember them. They're nice. And you like send them
So it's like
happy birthday.
it's a maybe rule.
Yeah.
Like it really depends.
And then the third one is never speak to again, because we've all had those roommates you hope to never cross paths with again.
Okay.
Looking at you, Forrest.
Now,
We're calling out names.
wow.
Wow.
Jeez.
What if he listens? What if he was about to become a patron of Baconsale and receive all the
Is
benefits
this the
that
one
come
that
with
went to jail, or is
He
this
drove a Chrysler Crossfire. He was kind of
Crossfire?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right, so we're just going to throw out random rules. We want to get Joel's dying over here. We want to incorporate your rules as well and get to. And by the way, thank you for
Yes.
recommending and throwing out some suggestions. But let's get to it. I mean, I think a lot of these will be common sense, right?
You think?
I think so. I think when you first move in, and I'm not saying this is the order of things, just have the conversation about boundaries and house rules. I think again, there's so much that's encompassed here. You could talk about cleaning and where things go, and we'll get there. But I think the rule should be have the conversation, right? Be like, because I think it's like, oh, everyone has common sense and they're going to be roommates and it's going to be easy. Everyone has different backgrounds. No one really knows what common sense is really supposed to mean. And so you say, hey, by the way, this is getting a little in depth. Should we just say, like, have ground rules?
I think communication is key.
Yes.
And I have a rule here, Kent, where I say, don't form tribes and talk behind each other's backs. Talk to each other. Because I feel like when you start doing that, where you're not having the open communication, that's when the issues start.
And people always find out if you're gossiping too.
Oh, yeah.
Like when Zack was hiding in his room and everyone's talking about
I'm willing
him.
to give this a BFF because I agree that you need to set the ground rules. Otherwise,
Zack doesn't
how do you
agree.
follow?
Go on.
Well, I'm saying we're making fun of you, Joel, but somebody needs to be the mom. Somebody needs to be the dad. Like, you kind of have to have that person in charge, the group leader.
But that does sound like setting ground rules.
Yes.
Someone to say, this is common sense.
Yeah.
But even then, just having that conversation with everyone,
Just to
like,
state it, right?
Hey
It might
guys,
be obvious, but yeah.
let's not do X, Y, and Z. Sound good? Like, even if something comes up, someone has to be there to be like,
don't throw rocks at my window.
Don't throw rocks at my window at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping in a
Okay,
parachute.
BFF.
Okay, BFF.
A really important part about living with someone is setting up the bills. Right? There has to be someone that's responsible, a Joel in every apartment. And
It was a little different back then, though, because, like...
yeah, you're paying for your own rent, and maybe that
we were writing
involves
paper
something.
checks back then, you know?
That's so weird.
Yeah.
But there was still only one person on the utilities, right?
Usually there was.
And this is where I think things need to change. And I think that it's really hard to say, dude, you owe me this much for the internet. You owe me this much for this. Set up automatic Venmo.
Yeah, it's a little different now.
Right? Like, it shouldn't even be a request. It should be like, dude, that's been 2 months. You haven't paid me for the power.
BFF on that.
Right?
Can I dovetail on this?
Yeah, please do.
Because I agree with this. I agree. I have one in here. Everyone pitches in to help. And to quote,
But like, should you have one person in charge?
well, so I have everyone pitches in to help. We're all in this together. To quote the great Troy Bolton.
I love it.
But then on the flip side of that coin, I have your bills are your responsibility. Meaning, like, if we split this up and say, okay, you're in charge of this part of it, don't come to us and be like, hey, guys, I need you to cover me again and again and again and again. So it's that same vein, but with a little added to it. So I don't know if we want to add that to it or not. Because
It's hard because that requires
the same
that
coin.
someone has a job or the security at all times. I think it's a maybe.
Well, because no, don't get me wrong. There will be times when I've had to cover people before.
Sure.
Like, hey, can you cover that? This, but it's like you know the habitual ones that are like,
Of course.
oh man, I can't do this again.
I'll get you soon.
And it's like you've never paid the heating bill once.
And I'm freezing. I'm wearing a bear costume.
Sorry, I'm going to be a little late this time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to dovetail, but I'm going to confess a little bit.
Okay.
It's related to this. It's my biggest shame.
Go.
My biggest roommate shame of all
Did
time.
you steal milk?
No, I'm not a monster.
I'm a 1% monster.
Okay. No,
I'm a skim monster.
That's cute.
Yeah, I'm 2%. Yeah, for sure. No, okay. So, fairly typical setup at the time. The utilities were in one person's name. The bill came in. All that we would do, the guy would just take the bill, post it on the fridge, and just put the amount split 4 ways.
I get that.
Okay, pretty fair. One time, I came home from my serving shift at the Sizzler, and I see the bill, and I lose it. But it's late. I worked a late shift. I'd be going to school during the day.
Lost it because
I lost it because it was very expensive by my estimation.
Yeah.
And I wrote a passive-aggressive note
Oh.
that I put on the fridge.
No.
And said, what are you guys even doing? Why am I paying a full share? I'm barely even here.
Oh.
Are you guys like, how on earth is the bill so high?
Yeah.
was it electric or was it heating or
Or like cable or something, right?
I don't recall. I don't recall. But it was
Something you weren't
a
using.
variable one, so it was
Yes.
probably either gas or electric.
Okay.
I'm like, what? This isn't even fair. Why am I'm like never here. Why is it so high? And I just get I wrote it on a note and stuck it on the fridge.
Yep. The best way to passive aggressively get there. Yeah.
always leave a note?
And someone just writes on the bottom of the note, just pay your share. And I was like, You're right. I'm so sorry. Here's extra.
Yeah.
That's
a party foul.
But I understand your frustration because
Yeah.
it is like if the roommates are like kicking up their electric heater in their room and then the electric bill goes up and you're like, the heck, why am I paying for that? I get
And I think that's if you live there, you're paying your fair share. Unless you say, hey guys, I'm only here like 2 days a week, right? Then maybe you can say I pay a smaller share.
Ultimately, like your rent doesn't change.
I say keep in touch on that.
Really?
Yeah. Because there's a lot of depends.
I guess in my situation, I could have had a different discussion, right?
Yeah.
Rather than a passive aggressive note, just be like, hey guys, like, is there something we can do to maybe keep this a little bit lower? Like, what's going on? If not, maybe it's just me not understanding because I'm a child.
Most people are when they start their first time roommates. So did we land, by the way, on the previous one? Did we get it?
Yeah, BFF.
Oh, BFF.
BFF on that one? On the rent?
Should we say just BFF pay your share?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pay your share.
Yeah.
Be communicative though.
Yes.
Again,
And
stuff happens.
And don't expect other roommates to support you in that situation.
No.
Because
So if you're moving
all
into,
poor.
if you're moving into your dorm,
Well, let's
expect to
I'm going to carry on with that because one of my big ones was don't leave passive aggressive notes. I think it just creates.
But that is the way roommates communicate. Actually, now they're probably texts.
It creates spite and reverse psychology. I think agree early on to call each other out without it being personal. Like, hey, technically, You just need to clean the bathroom.
It actually is a great opportunity to learn conflict resolution skills.
Yes.
I would love
In a positive way.
I would love to give that a BFF, guys. But the problem is,
Okay.
certain people just aren't built for that. There are certain people who cannot communicate in a rational, logical manner, and either fly off the handle or say completely outlandish things.
Or if there's like a bully in the apartment, they're always going to feel fine to confront someone, and someone may not.
And there's other people who are very timid and non-confrontational. Because I didn't do a lot of the dad aspect was in some parts, but other parts I'm like, I don't want to confront people on this aspect. I don't want to have to deal with this problem, and so it was a little bit difficult.
Keep in touch.
I give it a keep in touch for that reason, because
Some passive aggressiveness.
I agree with it, but I also understand that some people are just not going to get that.
Okay. Okay, that's fair.
One of mine, and this is one that I think hopefully we can all BFF, keep communal spaces clean. If it's an area where everyone is there, keep it clean. I would love to put a blanket rule over keep the whole apartment clean, but people are going to do their own things.
So, for
in their own
example,
rooms.
What is clean though?
Let's say I'm using the TV room, right? And the night before, I have a blanket. I took my socks off. Maybe I threw my hoodie on the other side of the couch, and I leave it there till the next day. Mm-hmm. That would be breaking those rules. Because people may come by. You may have company. Girls may come over.
If girls come over,
and my socks are on the ground.
Girl ready.
Yeah.
So,
but like, is it not girl ready if you have an empty can of root beer on the table?
There's probably a collection. If there's one can, there's a collection.
Yeah, it's like rats. Because I just feel like you want your apartment to be in a state of welcoming guests at any time, especially in a college place. Like, people are going to stop by, and you don't want to walk in and be like, wow, you guys are pigs. And so I'm like, the kitchen, the living room, the bathroom that people will be using, because there may be multiple bathrooms in an apartment. If there's one in the back that people don't go to, that's your own thing. But if it's a communal bathroom where people are going to be using,
so if you're younger and you're sharing bathrooms, there should be one clean bathroom. Or if you're older, maybe there's a guest bathroom on the main floor. But like master bathroom doesn't need to be all that clean sometimes.
Yes, it does.
Think about a master bathroom.
But I'm not going to put that in the rule here. This is
stuff on the table.
The rule is keep communal spaces clean.
And you're supported by the listener who says communal spaces are for everybody. Keep it clean and open.
See?
It should be. It's just not often.
But I
think it should be.
I feel like that's a recurring theme of like a lot of responses we got were like do your dishes, keep the bathroom clean. Like all of it is kind of like these communal spaces where it's like, hey guys, we're all living here, so let's keep a standard of cleanliness.
I need to ask you guys a question, and please be honest. I'm sure you're all clean now, right? You'll just do the dishes if there are dishes need to be done. You'll vacuum if it needs to be done.
For the most part.
Have you always been this way?
No,
neither.
My parents would disagree, but yes.
Of course. I like cleaning now. If something looks messy, I'm like, I'll just take care of it. I wasn't that way before. Right? If there are dishes in the sink, I'm like, I'll let them pile just to that rim right there.
Well,
and then put them away.
There's also a difference, I feel, between a blanket being left out that you used and the socks you've been wearing all day being on the floor.
Right.
There's a difference there.
Or you made dinner and you didn't clean any of it up.
Right.
So the stuff you used to make your dinner, the dishes you used, you didn't clean that up at all, or you just left everything in the sink.
I mean, that was a long way to say BFF for sure. Okay. It's just not completely practical.
That is one of the biggest battles you will have as a roommate.
Yeah.
But it should be a BFF.
Yes, because for me, again, I didn't want to be seen, but eventually I warmed up a little bit.
The secret cleaner.
Thanks to a little thing that I got to have college with, which was called Rock Band.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
That brought dorms together.
DDR for me. That was back in my day.
I love that.
Yeah.
A little smellier, but yes.
We use cans and string.
But I tried to make my presence unknown. I was the Boy Scout, right? I was like, you can't know that I exist.
I like the idea of Zack being like the dish fairy, where he comes in and just cleans the dishes, and then we're like, how was that done?
But however, my room itself was often a disaster. So
because people probably wouldn't go in there.
No.
Right. It wasn't a communal space.
No, it was not a communal space, and so it was never clean. But I have to best friend keeping the communal spaces clean.
What about division of chores? How do you set that? What's that conversation like?
Did you guys use chore wheels? Was that something that you had in your
when
apartment?
I was 8?
But in your apartment, did you ever have a chore wheel or chore chart?
I think we
for cleaning checks, yes.
We did. We only split up the cleaning checks. We rotated through because they had it sectioned out for us. Every apartment in the unit was 4 people, so they had kind of 4 zones, if you will, and we just rotated through doing a zone. You hope that you didn't get kitchen. I think that you just do the leave no trace thing. right? You just clean up after yourself, and you're gonna
The Boy Scout rule: leave it better than you when you found it.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's a dream scenario, though.
It is.
it is.
So the rule you're wanting to say, Kent, is
Divide chores.
I
Like
think
everyone is in charge
I
of an
think
area.
that's a BFF because divide chores is a basic living thing. If you're living with someone else, you're going to divide the chores.
Or is it not divide chores and just
touch.
everyone just keep it clean?
No, just keep in touch, because depending on how your chore is divided, you might take an unfair share.
Let's say Zach gets home from Sizzler and someone says, hey, Zach, cleaning checks in the morning. You got the smelly bathroom. You got the nasty bathroom that you never use. How upset would you be?
I would be.
How many notes would you write about that, Zach?
Several passive aggressive notes, Joel.
And so I
don't have enough.
Why'd you say my name so passive aggressively, Zach?
So keep in touch for
I like dark meat.
a chore chart.
It's a callback.
No, I that's the thing, is because like if it's technically a fair division of labor to be like, oh, you have this part of the kitchen,
Yeah.
but you don't even use it.
Right.
Is that fair? I don't know.
But I think some people would say they don't use it, but then they do. You know what I mean? Like
It's true.
it's a subjective thing at that point. So why not make it all objective of like, hey, we all have to pitch in and help out regardless of how we use it.
The Phantom does not use the kitchen.
Keep in touch.
The Phantom,
just for the differences.
The Phantom gets free food at Sizzler. He does not go to the kitchen.
All right. You
He
guys-
talks about himself in the third person.
apparently the Phantom does.
The Phantom knows.
The one thing the Phantom cannot hide, however, is smells.
The Phantom,
that's why-
the Phantom made some smells.
That's why my next rule is be mindful of odors, because this can apply to what you cook. This can apply to what you keep in the fridge. This can apply to bathrooms. This can apply to bedrooms. Just be mindful that you have a scent, and things you buy or use also have scents. So therefore, try to maintain a kind of smell-free environment.
What if someone doesn't know their own smell and it's not
That's the
great?
worst.
Sure.
That's the
What
worst.
do you do in that case? Do you have a conversation? This has to be a keep in touch. Obviously, you should look out.
Be mindful of odors is a keep in touch. That was the softest ball I could have thrown. It's not even saying don't have any odors. Like, be
but
mindful.
some people, their sense of smell may be different.
Okay. I'm a little bit with you, Kent.
Okay.
It's bizarre logic, but here's the thing.
You're trusting the thief over here?
Is a house that you're living in with other people, is that a public space?
No.
Even a communal area. It's still your dwelling. It's still your house.
Yeah,
it's still
right.
where you live. It is not a public space. It is still technically private.
It is, but
And
also,
in the privacy of my home, things might stink. Okay.
also, but I was saying, if you have other people living there, you have your private space, but that area where you all come together and meet, that is a public space in the regard of public can enter, because you never know who people are going to invite. They could invite a vampire in. Okay?
And mostly just
A lot of garlic.
It was all just
That
girlfriends.
smells.
Yeah.
Be mindful of that.
Yeah, keep in touch. Not everyone can do that. It's not everyone has the same sense of smell.
I'm not saying this is what is. I'm saying this is what should be. I'm putting forth a rule here, Kent.
It sounds like every single rule you've put, you would do BFF to.
Yeah,
You have to.
That's why they're my rules.
You have to be challenged, Dad.
You're not my real dad.
Don't you challenge me, son.
I'm sorry.
Zach's going to leave you a passive aggressive note.
Several. There's not enough fridge magnets in the world.
All right. Speaking. So can we say keep in touch?
I'm going to say keep in touch on
Yeah,
that
me
one.
too.
Because
Sorry,
Be
Joel.
this is
mindful of
still
odors.
a private dwelling. It is. It might have some publicness to it. There's a little bit of
I
support.
am microwaving fish in your apartment, Zach.
Fine. It's not my office. Besides,
Yeah, that's true. It's
you
at
work
home.
from home, Zach.
Dude, I'm the Phantom. I'm not there. I'm not.
You'll smell it.
Because let's say you think you're home at lunch and you make tuna fish and you're like, yeah, I'm just home alone. And then someone comes home and you're like, I'm sorry. I wasn't mindful about smells.
You can even say, sorry, I'm making tuna. That's being mindful. You're saying, I acknowledge this smells bad. It won't
That's
be
like
here
saying
forever.
with all due respect and then insulting somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
You do that every day to me.
With all due respect,
Turkey.
I want to talk
Dark meat.
So I want to talk about the Phantom. I think there should be some sort of conversation about how extroverted or introverted you are, because there are those times where you walk, like Zach, I'm kind of thinking of you now. You walk through, the kitchen and everyone's sitting there. Not every run-in has to be a hangout. Or, I guess this is the question: should you leave the introvert alone? Right? Should you make sure they have their space, but also, do you invite them to things?
I think that there should be a meaningful attempted inclusion.
Okay.
But not a requirement.
That,
like a text.
I want to make a bumper sticker that
Sure.
says introverts like invitations.
Yeah.
Because all it is.
That's so cute.
Give them the power to say no.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then
There's a
you
new
give them the
shirt for you,
option.
Kent.
Yeah, I like that.
Because I feel like the introvert, even though they'll say no every time, but it's like, hey, we're going over here. You want to come? No. Okay, cool. Yeah, just
No,
give them
thank
that
you.
invite.
I mean, yeah, this is supported by a listener who says, include your roommate and don't make it feel like they can't be in a common area when you are out there. Talk to them, play a board game with them. I mean, there should be some attempted inclusion.
But don't force a BFF.
But don't be like, we're friends now.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think that this is a, I don't know, common pleasantry situation where you're just, you don't have to be friends, but you should be friendly.
Yeah.
Totally. So BFF?
BFF.
Okay.
Yeah, BFF. Don't eat others' food. That is the rule I think should be out there. Meaning, when I say others' food, sure, there are people that buy stuff and then they share it, and that's fine. I'm saying you need to define what is shared food versus personal food.
Because you have 6 guys.
Yeah.
You really need 6 loaves of bread.
No. In fact, we did this
How
thing.
funny. Yeah, you're right.
So we haven't been talking a lot about
6 gallons of milk.
the time when we had roommates who were companions when we were on the mission, for example, Kent. And there was a thing we'd do where we would say, okay, these are our marriage shops, we called them, where it was like we buy these things together, like milk, bread, eggs, and then we'd have these separate stuff that we pay for separately. And it was like, okay, this is our stuff, and this is mine and yours.
Let's get granular. You're making tacos. Your roommate's not home, so you can't
soft
say...
shell or hard shell?
Soft shell.
Beef or chicken?
Beef.
Okay.
Yeah, just real basic.
Okay.
And your roommate is not home to say, hey, man, I need some of your salsa. You don't have salsa of your own.
Right.
You can't go to the store because you're just in the middle of everything. Maybe cheddar cheese.
Condiments.
Right?
Condiments
no, that's
don't
the thing.
count.
They don't count? What about cheddar cheese?
Do count.
Or
Ketchup.
Or who are you talking to right now?
First of all, I'd never have that.
hey, Joel, I wouldn't steal food at this point. I would steal your ketchup.
Well, but the thing is, I actually, there's
I would
not
have-
food within reason. What I'm saying is,
Okay.
like, there's some condiments that you buy like specifically for something, like you need the whole jar for a recipe
Sure.
or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, not all condiments get a blanket
Yeah.
pass. Ketchup is fine. But what I was going to say is, if you have to use that salsa, Kent, that's fine in a pinch situation. But don't be the guy that's doing it all the time. And when you do, say, "Hey, man, I use some salsa here.
And also,
Here's a jar."
Yeah, wouldn't you buy them?
But
a jar at
that's
that point?
inconsiderate to shelf space. You cannot.
Don't be inconsiderate of shelf space.
You can't be like, hey, we're gonna have 5 things of mayo in the fridge.
Right.
We literally can't do that. We can't have more than one.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense. Like you have to have the.
No. I'm
the
saying
shared.
he used the salsa and then he has to replace the salsa.
when
But
it's
it doesn't
gone.
make. Sorry, I got you a shot glass of salsa.
Ken's dumped the whole bottle in there.
Oh, listen.
Well, thankfully, I worked at the Sizzler, so I could just get it from the salad bar. Here's one piece.
On its face, don't steal food is a BFF. But it does get complicated when you talk about fridge space because everyone kind of has their own
But as long as
maybe areas in the fridge.
But if the rules
or
are
pantry.
defined, it's fine. Like if you define the rules of like, let's okay, we're all going to buy milk together or we're going to buy mayonnaise together. That's fine.
One of our listener does say, don't eat other people's food without asking. To me, is you're having that conversation.
Yeah.
You're communicating about, again, I'm cool if you ask me,
in a case
can I
where they're-
use your mayo?
And in a case where they're not there to ask, when they come back, say, hey, by the way, I used some of the mayo.
Okay.
Or
What if
ideally,
your
you've already
roommate?
had that
What if your roommate came to you and said, "I'm really craving your nacho cheese Doritos right now, and there's an open bag right there. I know they're yours. Could I have some?" Would you say yes or no?
I'd say yes.
You would say yes.
If somebody asks me nicely, I will say yes.
Zach, will you give this a BFF then, please?
I will give it a
It's a BFF.
It works.
I'll give
Yeah.
it a BFF.
Listen,
Yes,
just because I need to do better.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's several food comments that our listener made. Obviously, don't eat other people's food without asking. But like, maybe some specific ones, like don't go into someone else's room and eat their birthday cake. That.
So many no-nos there.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, it's being stored in the room. Well, listen, yeah,
They probably kept it there because they would eat the cake otherwise, and they
Okay.
still found it.
But this is maybe supporting Joel's. Don't stink up the place with your fragrant food. I don't know. If food has smell. I'm sorry. Stuff has smell.
But that's
But
there
be
are
Even as
mindful.
the Phantom.
there are certain smelly foods that really do stink up the place.
And this listener says, I personally offered food to my roommate if I was cooking. I think that is great.
yeah.
But it comes down to communication.
Yeah,
I don't know.
because it shouldn't be expected.
No, never.
And sometimes if people are takers, if you give them food once, they're like, "Oh, we share food now."
Yeah.
Right? It should be like, "Hey, do you want my leftovers?" Or I made a big meal.
If you made a big meal, sure.
It's like, here, table scraps, they're yours, peasant.
At one point when I was in college, I was in
bathroom.
I was in culinary school, so I did occasionally, obviously, have to practice and share. But Jace, I don't want your mac and cheese.
He's calling out all his roommates.
Thanks for the Blue Man Group tickets. You're sweet, Jace. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Let's take this to the bathroom.
No.
Bathroom. It's hard to know what hogging the bathroom means. Mm-hmm. But should it be spoken about, like, to not hog the bathroom? And I mean time taken there or space taken on the sink.
I mean, it depends on where, like, bathroom prime time.
I think hogging anywhere has probably got a negative connotation.
Morning, night.
Yeah. Should there be boundaries set for bathroom time? Or
if a problem arises, I think boundaries should be set.
Okay.
But if I don't think it's a conversation. Okay, guys, we all get 5 minutes in the bathroom.
But I think there's scheduling that needs to happen. Hey, when's your first class?
What about hot water? What if you get in the shower and all the hot water's taken? Do you then have a conversation? Do you wait a couple times for that to happen?
Yeah.
You just ask when your schedule is.
Yeah, trying to figure out a schedule at that point.
I had a roommate only a couple years ago. He would always go to the gym super early in the morning, take a decently long shower, and then he had to jump on a Teams call first thing in the morning. And so I tried to time my shower against, like, okay, so he's going to need to take a shower after coming home from the gym. So we got to have the hot water. I can't completely run it out, but I don't want to be showering during his business call. This was a post-COVID, or actually during COVID. And so it was we just had to have that talk about the schedule.
So maybe based on the conversation, maybe that's the rules. Have the conversation for it. Is it kind of a lose my number sort of thing?
Down to communication,
right? Maybe it doesn't need to be spoken about until it needs to be spoken about. Right. So is it a lose my number? Or whatever tier 3 is.
No, I don't want. I don't want, like. What do we say in here? The rule of like bathroom time.
Basically, talk about it. Talk about what is allowed beforehand.
I don't know.
No, bathroom time. Okay. No, never speak to that again.
We all know what happens. I think the only coordination regarding a bathroom should just be about the shower. Like legitimately, like okay, so you've just used the bathroom and now I'm going to as well. What am I going to not? Like, no way.
There's just one time where, it was like a couple weeks where I noticed my bath soap, or my shower soap, bar of soap, looked different every time I used it. And it wasn't,
it was a bar of soap?
A bar of soap. And my roommate was using it. A roommate that wasn't my friend. And I was so disgusted, right? Because then you have to let it rinse under the shower head. And I had a conversation, but I was like, what kind of monster would do this?
A bar.
Yeah, I know.
I've pinched maybe some shower gel before.
Yeah.
But a bar?
No. But even shower gel. Like, because if you get comfortable doing that once or twice.
Yeah. So
all the shower gel.
Hold on. Let me give you a little cup of it. Sorry. I get these tiny cups on Sundays. I put some shower gel in for you.
And really, that's just rule of thumb. I don't know if it requires, like, also maybe it's like kind of like the food. Don't use something that someone bought for themselves.
Yeah, because I was going to say, we're all poor in those roommate situations.
Right.
Yeah. The disposables.
Yeah. I have a rule. I'm maybe controversial, but I'm gonna kind of. It's a softball again. Keep PDA cute. So there's PDA, public displays of affection. Some are perfectly socially acceptable. If you walk in and a roommate is holding hands with their significant other and they're watching a show and just holding hands, that's cute. That's fine. If they got their arm around them, they're cuddling up, that's cute. That's fine. A hug, a peck, these are all cute and fine. Full on making out in a communal space when other people are around, that's just awkward for everybody.
I disagree.
Why?
Not entirely, but like enough to tier to it, enough to keep in touch with it. Listen, it's back to my earlier point. It's their apartment too.
But
okay, no.
But living in a civilized society,
especially you went to. You're talking about BYU housing. I went to UVU housing. That was basically BYU rules.
I'm softballing this also because of that. There was a couple comments from the listener where it was like, "Don't play Marvin Gaye's music in public spaces."
Sure,
I would go more extreme on that.
Okay,
and it has to do I think we've all had roommates that had their girlfriend in the apartment all of the time, to the point where she was the 7th person in the apartment.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Zach, you as the Phantom would have to quickly walk by so you don't see him making out or whatever.
There were many awkward times opening the door.
Literally keep it out of the apartment would be my thing. Like, I would go more extreme.
I can't go
like, I know people watch movies and stuff, and that's fine. But if they're doing it every night, in fact, I would say limit how many nights company can be over.
Let the roommates make out on the couch.
No way.
No making out.
That becomes hauntings. There will be ghosts in that couch.
You sit on that couch.
On the occasion, because if I'm not allowed to bring a girl into my room, which was definitely a thing at my first, student
Thing
housing.
of mine as well.
Yeah, sure. When I was in a house with 5 other guys, and there was the one guy whose girlfriend was always over, and they were hanging out in the master bedroom. Sure, I don't care.
Pull it back.
No.
If you have a girlfriend, I know, like,
where else are you gonna make out?
We didn't text this, or we didn't really text back in the day. Do you text someone if you have company over? Like, say, hey, someone's watching a movie on the couch, and we are taking the TV room. Do you tell your roommates?
No, I think reserving of time is perfectly acceptable. Like, hey guys, people they can watch screens anywhere now, but it's kind of like, hey, back then it was like, we're gonna use the
and
TV
there's the one TV.
Is that okay?
Right.
And that was fine. If you say, hey, we want to use it, but I'm saying keep PDA cute.
I don't know.
Don't make it uncomfortable for
for me. If you don't have another option, basically, like, let's say you've got a roommate and you are in there's no shared gender, right? Like, this is all boys, this is all girls. You cannot have a member of the opposite sex in your room. Where else are you going to mac?
Where is that? Where are the rules like that, Zach? Where on earth?
At BYU and UVU housing.
Oh, that's right.
Listen, USU is a little bit different.
Yeah, where else are you going to mac? Okay.
Wait, we're calling it Mac now?
That's what I called it.
Return to the Mac right here.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
So you have 2 options.
Okay.
You mac in the common space.
I'm literally changing my whole verbiage now.
I've always called it that.
To Mackin'.
Okay. Or you shut up and you let me take my significant other to my room.
Or you chill.
Either you let me break the rules.
It just...
Hey, Zach, go for a drive. Get out of here with your kisses. Get out of here with your Mac.
I drove a 1990 Honda Accord that was burning oil constantly. That was not happening.
It's romantic.
Or, again, if you have the ability.
Look,
no,
Zach.
I'm just pushing back.
As someone who was once referred to as a serial cuddler, I understand.
Wait, you can't
Fruity Pebbles, Golden Grams?
Yes.
Okay.
I cuddled with like a box of cereal.
Multimil for me.
But I definitely understand the allure of being like, hey, we're in our space. We're just going to cuddle up and watch a movie and it's all cute and fun. I get that. And I understand the allure of kissing. I enjoy it. But
macking.
I feel like there is cute.
You should mac on the couch a little bit.
Yeah. There's cute macking and there's not cute macking.
There's a Mac attack.
There's macking where you're like, hey,
sure.
There's literally a phrase, get a room. And that's where...
Do you think any college kid knows what appropriate mackin' is? No.
Mac and cheese.
I don't know what that means.
A lot of that happened at my dorm.
I get it that it's keep in touch, right? Because there's so many variables here.
Sure.
But I don't want to see it. Like, I want to go BFF just for Joel's softball rule.
I don't know. Maybe it's the phantom in me. I am perfectly willing to walk in after going to work. If my roommate is on the couch with his girl... I would just quietly walk by.
You'd have to shade your eyes as you're walking by.
And I will happily do that.
No,
you wouldn't.
It's awkward for everybody.
Right. BFF.
BFF.
Fine.
That was a good one.
Let's check in with the listener. I mean, there's some comments about maybe general guests and company. I don't know if you guys get into that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not really in this realm necessarily, but like, please let your roommates know or check with them before having company over.
Yes.
It's real great waking up in the morning to find a man in your bathroom and you didn't know it was over.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, fine. It comes back to communication.
Yeah.
And if it's like, hey, I'm having my girl over and we're watching The Notebook.
Got it.
Can you not be in that room for a second?
Be crying.
Mac and cheese. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that is actually good. Once again, it all boils down to communication.
Yeah.
I think letting people know when you have plans is BFF.
Do you know what I anticipate now, though? And maybe this is different in places like Provo, for example. Everyone has a TV, right? And maybe everyone kind of had a small TV, but everyone has a TV they'd rather watch in their room compared to, I feel like living rooms are probably unused for the most part.
Probably.
Right?
Probably now, yeah.
And so I feel like the dynamic has shifted a bit, unless there are hardcore rules. So,
yeah. Yeah, there's definitely like it's easy to get a decent sized TV in your room. That's how I watched like all of Lost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because this was back on DVDs.
Yeah,
like nowadays, I would definitely never be seen.
All right,
I wasn't.
Sorry, I cut you off.
No, I wasn't seen. in my most recent roommate situation because I had a 55-inch OLED in my room. Why would I need to go anywhere else?
Speaking of TVs, be considerate about noise.
Okay.
Yep. I have here respect quiet hours.
Sure. What's quiet hours for you?
What I mean is you have that depends from roommate to roommate. Some people have night shifts. Some people have day shifts. People get up early. Some people stay up late. As long as you have quiet hours where it's like, okay, guys, this person's going to be sleeping at this time. Let's not do the loud party then. Or this person's not going to be sleeping at this time. Like, I feel like there needs to be established quiet hours in an apartment, which would then dovetail into yours of don't do the loud noises.
Right. Because that could be a Bluetooth speaker. Could be TV, like I'm watching a movie till late and I've got the sound bar going and everything.
Practice.
What about rock band?
Or rock band.
As long as everyone's playing, keep rocking.
Yeah, but we would actually open the door.
Yeah.
Because in my dorm, we were, it was like a horseshoe. And in the middle of the horseshoe was a basketball court. And sometimes on the weekends, it would be loud. So we're like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to open the door, play rock band. Hey, swing by.
Yeah.
But at some point, that's got to stop.
But you just know there's one roommate that is so annoyed by this and has been dealing with the noise for months. Will come out and just unplug the TV or something.
Hey, here's the thing. If you're playing video games and I'm constantly hearing Call of Duty against the wall of my room, that gets old fast.
Yeah.
It's a better experience anyway to wear headphones. Wear the dang headphones.
Have you guys ever been like chatting in your room with your roommate and you're giggling and it's late at night and you've had a roommate hit the
First
wall?
of all, it's adorable that you and your roommates are giggling together.
Have you ever been on Baconsale before?
If we were roommates, we'd be giggling.
We would
all
be
the time.
giggling
constantly.
Listen, we shared a room except for you fall asleep way fast. Zach and I would be giggling.
Yeah, Ken make dolphin noises and
we giggled with our nose strips.
At Utah State.
We did giggle
we did.
in our hotel room.
But my friend Seth and I, we were roommates, and we would play Who Would You Rather Kiss for like an hour. Like, especially when we first started meeting girls around the apartments, we play Who Would You Rather Kiss? And we giggle. And the guy from Idaho is puking on the ground. We were scared. He's banging on the walls. And we were not being very considerate, but it also made for great memories. But yeah.
But I feel like, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, if it happens once, you just apologize. But be considerate is my rule.
Yeah. And I think that's BFF. I think that's BFF, to be considerate about noises, because much like odors, which you guys didn't give a BFF.
I know, it's like mindful about odors. Maybe.
But sounds, definitely. So I'm giving this my BFF.
Because I think you can control sound more than you can control smells. You're going to make food that's going to have a smell. You're going to have functions of your body that are going to make smells. You're going to sweat and make smells.
Yes.
But you can choose whether or not to have your TV at a certain volume.
But if you clean up after yourself, if you spray, the aerosol can, like there's ways to help mitigate the smells.
Yeah, well, if you're spraying Axe all over the place, that's bad.
Which we are. We Axe up before every single episode of Baconsale, not a sponsor.
Oh, I had one roommate. He had the whole basement to himself, and thank goodness, because I'm pretty sure he was keeping the cologne business, all together himself. Good. It's terrible. And then Matt's moved in right after. Wonder how bad that smelled for a while. Sorry, buddy. There's been some support from the listener on sounds. If you're having a party, a heads up is appreciated.
Yeah.
Invite not needed. But like, if there's going to be...
would you ask early in like the week and say, hey, I'm thinking about a party on Friday. Who wants to come?
I don't think it's even asking. It's just like telling.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's your right occasionally. Again, it's your space.
Yeah.
Be cognizant of other people's work schedules, though. That's another comment.
Yeah.
Don't blare music or TV if the other person's sleeping. We get maybe you are a night owl. That's fine. You got to be.
But also, there's another side of the coin there too, where like you have to understand that in a college-like atmosphere or something like that, you can't really go to bed at 6 p.m. You know what I mean? Like,
no.
Yeah.
Like if you're just tired and like I'm going to go to sleep, and they're like, well, we're going to hang out. It's like. There has to
you
be
mean kind of like you did. You went to bed. You turn off the lights as soon as you're ready.
And my poor roommate, I felt bad about him. Like
because you took away his living space.
I did.
Until
and
you
I felt bad about that. And once I cut on, I was like, oh, we're fine. Like we can work this out.
Yeah. Many people have horror stories of having that one roommate that's like a real stickler about sounds or light. I had a friend who her roommate was very, very weird about light.
Like too much light?
And she was like, she would come out at 10 o'clock or 10:30 and be like, I can't even sleep with the amount of light can you at least turn off the lights? That's a you problem.
That's a roommate issue.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, in a general sense, I think that there is a courtesy element.
Modesty. What about roommates who walk out?
Oh, you're saying
or are a little boxers or something like that, right?
Okay, this is going to sound really weird.
Okay.
It depends on if they deserve said modesty.
Wait, hold on.
Family friendly. Like,
Well, hold on.
he's saying if they're pretty, if they're hot.
Well, okay. For example, Travis.
The band?
He's a pretty muscly guy.
Yeah.
He'd walk out of the shower
No.
as the day he was born.
No, there are
Like, you
laws
just come
against
home from the
this.
gym, you're a CrossFit guy, and
Yeah.
you're not wearing a shirt, whatever.
Okay, so shirt is fine.
Sure. If it's appropriate,
If you're pretty.
if it's appropriate at a swimming pool, I think you're fine.
Yeah.
In your semi-private dwelling.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's the point that I
Yes.
come back to.
I agree with that.
I think that you are beach levels of coverage. You're good.
Yeah.
Anything outside of that, no way.
Fair.
Yeah. That
Fair.
sounds reasonable to me, Zach.
Okay.
BFF that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have. You have a whole bunch.
I have one more.
Okay, let's do that because I want to get to a whole lot of listener comments.
Yeah.
as well.
I just have
A lot
one
of
more
it's support.
Once again, this is just this kind of ties into a lot of what we said before.
Okay.
Because we've been talking a lot about communal spaces.
Yeah.
Respect personal spaces.
Okay.
There, you have your communal space where like kind of everyone goes, but if you have your own room, you don't want people coming in there without asking you first. You don't want people rummaging around and stealing your birthday cake. Like there's some weird things that can happen if people don't understand. Okay, this is a shared dwelling, but this area is mine.
Hypothetical. You're in your room, and this is 2026. Let's say you had to get a roommate. Would you want them to knock on the door or send a text? What would be more
Are they
comfortable
in the
for you?
house?
Yes.
Knock on the door.
I'm fine with the knock.
I mean, it depends what they're asking.
It's quicker.
But
Okay.
and even within personal space, like in your own bedroom, like let's say, for example, you walk in and one of your roommates is laying on your bed.
Oh, that's so weird. That
Like,
would be so weird.
That is a direct violation because that is
That'd
a
be single white
personal
female
I think
right
it's a
there.
threshold situation.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
don't
Like
cross
they're
the
not
threshold.
under the covers or anything. They're just chilling there, waiting for you and texting and laying on your bed. I'd be like, no, dude, this is a personal space.
But I guess the rules are.
I mean, unless they're pretty.
even if. Yeah. Hey, do you work out? You can lay on my bed. No, is this a shared room situation?
Maybe, but also I feel like within personal spaces like room, there's
There would be
even more personal
space, yes.
spaces. You know what I mean?
I think, again, maybe it depends on the nature of your relationship, right? If, like, let's say, hypothetically, the three of us are roommates and we all share one room.
I think we'd make awesome roommates.
I think it'd be sweet. Okay, but like if
Not
one
giving
time,
up my current roommate.
One time Kent walks in and I happen to be sending a text while sitting on his bed.
Yeah.
Is that a big deal?
Sitting down for a second, I don't think is a big deal. I think
just
it's
happen
like
to sit
if you're
down
laying on the
because-
bed with shoes on.
I'm thinking of a situation where I would go to girls' apartments in college, and this is Utah State, so we could go in their bedroom, and we'd be sitting on like me and like another girl, another guy, another girl, whatever. We're all just hanging out in the room and sitting on beds because they're sitting spaces.
Oh, you kind of ran the gamut on the rules of housing between going up to north and going down south.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
The second people started coming to my room, I'm like, what are you doing? Get out of here. But I think sometimes you do invade other people's space just because it's convenient and not to be hurtful at all.
Yeah.
And so I would almost say keep in touch. Like I agree, but sometimes it's broken without any sort of offense.
I think it's really dependent on the type of space.
Yes.
In my setup,
Like I'm not going to sleep in someone's bed, but I may sit on someone's bed just to hang out.
What about this though? Like you come
Well,
into
at that point, you're invited.
You come into
Yeah.
you come in your room to do some homework and do some tasks. You walk in and someone's sitting at your desk using your computer,
Oh, okay, no way.
But what if they're just sitting at your desk, not using your computer?
but they're using your space. That's a personal space. Respect personal space. There are boundaries.
I mean, I want to give it a BFF, but there's some disclaimers here.
Their feet, no shoes,
BFF.
no socks.
Yep.
And they have their feet up on
my
your
pillow.
desk.
Oh.
On your desk, they're like leaning back at their bare
Are they
feet.
clipping
on your
their
desk.
toenails?
Yes, on your desk.
BFF.
Zach, will you please give us a BFF? Remember, I'm being polite.
Oh, he asked nicely. I have to say yes.
Yay!
Please.
Respect personal spaces.
I mean, there's so much more we can say, but yeah, do we have a handful of other comments?
Yeah, let's look at some of these. Okay, so I've kind of generally categorized some of the comments that we got under a couple of basic ones, but there were lots of comments about.
We're not going to get through them all.
There was lots of comments about cleaning.
Yes.
Lots, right? Be respectful of the communal spaces. Clean up after yourself. Don't hog the common area.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree to that. Simply clean up after yourself. Different one. Clean up after yourself, especially in shared areas. Clean up after yourself.
Okay.
Said many, many times.
Yeah,
I think that
resounding.
is obviously BFFs, right?
Because it is such an issue. That is the main issue, I think, for roommates.
Yes. If you spill something, clean it up.
Yes.
If you drop crumbs, sweep. Finish with your dish.
It's almost like
Put it in the
Zach
dishwasher.
was the best roommate because no one ever knew he was there.
No, I was the best roommate. I didn't take room in the fridge.
How?
I didn't have food.
You just went out to eat?
I went to culinary school and I worked at Sizzler.
Oh, okay.
And I gained 40 pounds. It was crazy. So clean up after yourself, right? Especially the communal spaces. Don't leave food out on the counter that should be put in the fridge. Yeah, that's gross. Okay.
We had one time we could not figure out what the smell was in our apartment. Could not figure it out. And it just stunk. And come to find out, one of our roommates who had moved out for a study abroad, I believe it was, but he was gone for a period of time. He'd left an onion in the cupboard in the back. We were
Onions or potatoes every time.
And it rotted.
Yep.
Stunk up the whole apartment.
We haven't talked much about dishes.
We have not.
That's in the cleaning category.
Okay, yes, but cleaning, but like actual dishes. Should each person have their own? They only use theirs. These are my cups. Don't touch my cups. Because then it gets a little bit weird. Like, do you individually have to wash every dish that you use? Do you just put it in the dishwasher?
Roommates, see, I think everyone brings their own cups and their own plates, but the ones who get mad about someone using plates and cups, if they're cleaned after, I think they're crazy, right?
If they're washed after, they shouldn't get mad.
Yeah. So it's a keep in touch.
I think I've accidentally used souvenir Salt Lake Bees cups.
Yeah.
That weren't mine. On accident.
Yeah.
But what's funny is like
You just wash it,
dishes
right?
aren't hard to do.
No.
I'm happy to do someone
Especially
else's
if you do them
dishes.
right after you're done.
Totally.
If you let it dry, it gets difficult.
I think a BFF should be
Ooh.
don't leave dishes in the sink.
Okay.
Well, I was going to ask. So, what's your guys' opinion? Like when you're cooking something and you have to soak it for a little while because it's like
Yeah.
there's stuff caked on and it's just in the sink. What's the proper time frame there of letting it soak before you clean it?
An hour.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, at most overnight.
Okay.
I can understand the overnight. You're just trying to be efficient, but after 6 hours, what more are you going to do?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not going to get much cleaner.
This isn't a river.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, supported by a listener who says, don't use things that aren't yours without asking first. This year, I've had the pleasure of coming home to a dirty sink full of my dishes that were clean in my cabinet when I left.
Oh, that's a slight.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Well, but like say someone uses a dish and then you find it in the dishwasher. It's waiting to be run, but they're being efficient with your water bill.
Yeah. Waiting for it to
and
go.
they're just like, we're going to wait till it's full. Yes, I used your dish, but look, it's going to be clean very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that there are times.
I don't remember having a dish or a cup. I remember we had kind of just the plates that we used.
I had my section of
Maybe I was
my
wrong.
dishes. I set them there. They gathered dust. And then I moved out.
everyone else brought plates and I didn't.
Maybe you're inconsiderate and you didn't even know it.
I didn't even know it.
Okay, don't leave your shoes in a pile by the door. If you do this, make sure your shoes don't smell. Otherwise, it stinks up common areas. So what, keep your shoes in your own room?
I think if you have it's the pile. I think you can kick your shoes off by the door, but if you have like 4 pairs of shoes there,
Yeah.
then yeah, put them in your room.
There's also
My roommate now probably has an issue with that.
Oh, really? Tell us more.
I'm a shoe kicker offer by the door person.
Yeah.
Sorry, babe.
Do you set them side by each other or kind of just wherever they land?
They are generally pretty close to side by side.
Okay.
I wear slip-on Vans, so they just get kicked off.
Yeah. I think there's a big difference between just kicking your shoes off and letting them go wherever and then like putting them in the place where they
Well,
go.
yeah, there's runaround shoes and there's shoes that you wear on purpose.
Okay.
Those should be in your room.
Okay. I'm fine.
Run around shoes.
Sorry, babe. When it's time to deep clean the living space, help out. Don't make one person do everything.
Yep.
Sure. Hey, don't use prescription drugs that aren't yours. I think we can get behind that.
Wow.
Well, that guy,
BFF.
I think we can get
Very
behind that.
specific BFF.
That's a very
I think there's a
specific
law
BFF.
behind that.
it's weird.
Yeah. Maybe don't do that. We talked a lot about food.
Yeah.
Don't eat other people's food without asking.
Sorry.
Okay. That's totally fine. Don't go into someone else's room and eat their birthday cake. We mentioned that one. Don't steal your roommate. Okay, this is very specific. Don't steal your roommate's food because they may or may not make chocolate cupcakes with X-Lax after getting fed up asking so many times for you to stop eating their food. Then leave the cupcakes on the counter after explicitly asking you to not eat them as they were for a church event. Said roommate ate half the cupcakes and the other roommate hid all the good toilet paper.
You live, you learn.
Wow.
That is
Either they're a creative writer or that's a real experience.
right.
Okay. I mean, don't sneak up the place with your fragrant food. Don't throw away your roommate's expired milk. They will have a violent meltdown over it.
I think that's sarcasm
This
right
is
there.
this are a couple specific stories.
Yeah.
from people who may or may not be married to each other.
There were some fun stories shared on our social media channels. Thank you for those.
Yeah, go check out the comments. They're a lot of fun. So yes, we've talked about comments about being friendly, having guests over. There's one here living in BYU. My roommate and I were hanging out watching the Holy War when these guys, same building, just decided to invite themselves into our apartment, eat our snacks, and watch the game. I think you should be friendly.
Yeah,
but unless you have that established relationship,
if the door is open and they're playing Rock Band, you're cool to go in.
Again, coming back to the Rock Band,
eat their Doritos.
That was welcoming.
Yeah.
We were being friends.
If the door is wide open like that, it usually means, hey, come hang.
Well, and to be honest, I mean, we can talk about this. Like in our circumstances, going to school, we were also potentially part of the same church group.
Yes.
And so there was another kind of level of familiarity, maybe outside of schooling.
Yeah.
And that maybe happens with having guests over and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But okay.
It's like being kind and courteous, not too crass. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Behave clean and reverent.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we talked about, again, having guests over. Those are normal things.
Yeah.
So much of this comes down to communication. Also, maybe a little off the wall here, Mats. If you carry, don't leave it in the living room.
Oh,
He's talking about firearms there. Yeah. Firearms should be stored properly. And
I mean,
because it becomes the elephant in the room.
or the law, whatever.
Yeah. Ugh.
One roommate moved in after living in the dorms and forgot how to turn off lights and lock doors because those were done automatically there.
Called children.
I don't touch light switches in my house, so I get it. They'll leave the bathroom light on after going to bed or leave the door unlocked.
You don't touch light switches in your house?
Smart lights.
You walk in and they turn on?
I walk in and they turn on. I tell it to change the temperature of the lights.
Living in the future.
Or Skynet.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
How do you feel about Ring doorbells?
Not a fan. Yeah, I think just maybe people are not turn off the lights people.
Yeah. I am
Situational.
definitely the one that has to I live with kids. And so it's definitely like walking around turning them off.
I'll be honest, I'm fine with we had a little dining room light that was always on.
Yeah.
I'm cool with
Like one light in the house.
light.
It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Don't pawn your roommate's belongings to buy drugs.
Yeah, BFF there. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think we can get behind that one, right? Hey, Joel, you mentioned this one. Stay out of the other person's room unless you are invited and they are there with you. I think that's a really good way to put
That is.
I think that there's a difference between being invited in and hanging out versus you show up and they're there.
Yeah.
Don't take a remote job and move your office to the kitchen table.
I could only imagine what that must have been like for all the people that were suddenly remote working in a shared space like that.
But then you have the room, right?
I moved into an apartment with other guys on April 1st, 2020.
Oh, wow.
It was mid adjustment. But so, yeah, we had to figure it out. I had a roommate who was running an Ethernet cable through the entire house and we were tripping over it all the time.
Oh, wow.
I, under normal circumstances, would have been like, what are you doing? But he got a code.
But it was extreme and it seemed temporary,
And then there
right?
was an earthquake. It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now I had ideas to hey, what if we ran this along the ceiling and
Sure.
then,
Smart.
Then I moved out. Whatever. And then said this roommate, after the work week, he would walk out and unplug his, or not the work week, the work day. Every day he would unplug his super long Ethernet cord.
Wow.
So he was a great roommate. Shout out James.
I love that. Shout out to Mike and Ryan out there.
Yeah. Seth, Clayton, Travis.
This kind of goes under the sound category. I have a couple on sound. If you're an early bird and your roommate is a night owl, please don't slam doors. Okay. And don't scream with your other roommates, bang on walls. Same goes the other way around.
Yeah.
Night owls, be respectful to early birds.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sure.
Respect quiet hours.
If you're having a party, heads up. Okay, that's fine. Be cognizant of other people's work schedule. Mentioned that one. I think that's all considerate.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you also have to understand that not everyone's on your weird schedule.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have a weird schedule, got to understand that.
Nate.
Wow. Jeez, Nate.
Hey, this definitely is not something that is required, but it is nice. Please decorate and make it feel like home, but don't touch other decorations or ruin them. I don't know that I agree with that one, but it might be nice.
I would say don't decorate the communal space at all. Unless you all agree, hey, what's our vibe here? Are we cool with this? I have a big painting. Can I put it here?
There was a big painting of a house that I moved into of like a Blackbeard pirate.
Yeah.
And I wish I had that painting.
Oh,
It was
okay.
so good.
Yeah.
Some random guy put it up and nobody got rid of it. Also, there was like a painting of Steve Buscemi.
Okay.
Great. Just other quick things on the listener. Be considerate of the TV, or you might end up working as a potato inspector.
There's a story on that. You can find that on social media.
Don't try to dictate what movies and games other roommates are allowed to have.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Like you can't watch that movie.
Joel.
That's BYU
this you?
talking.
If all of a sudden I had like Fight Club and Seven in the library.
It's whatever you want, but it's just I had a conversation with a roommate when I was fresh off the mission.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Went to BYU.
Yeah.
Walked in. I saw some movies there, and I was talking to my other roommate about, can you believe they have this movie in there? And they were like, yeah, that's weird, man. And I was like, oh.
Okay, gotcha.
I did not read the room first before making this.
There's a Pulp Fiction poster on the wall.
Yeah. That was on every wall.
It's
in
college.
college.
This is an interesting one on supplies. If you all, as roommates, decide to take turns buying toilet paper, don't buy the crappy kind when everyone else buys the good ones.
Totally.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I can get behind that, right? If it's a shared thing,
Yeah.
you have to be of the same quality. There's just another one here. Please contribute to shared items. Don't make one roommate buy all the toilet paper, all the paper towels. But again, you can't have everybody. Maybe you can. I've stored toilet paper in my own room before. That's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah. Makes great furniture if you need it.
Do you walk to your lavatory with your own toilet paper and take it back? That's not an unreasonable request, but it is a little bit ridiculous.
Spitefully, if someone never bought toilet paper, I would do that.
Yeah.
I would just bring my own.
Yeah.
And they just use mine all the time. Absolutely.
Again, I move into a new house during COVID, and it was just like, hey, I was able to procure the Costco stuff. We're good for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if
Zach's
there was
over here being like, I'm a hero stories.
Oh, Joel, take it easy.
Kim, what was your hero story again?
Yeah, I don't have one. I'm better now.
And
I'm a redeemed hero.
Let me be your hero.
And finally, if your roommate is kind enough to babysit your 6-month-old, please return home in a timely manner and not 3 days later.
Oh my
What?
That's a very specific story.
What?
Wow.
Some crime in these stories.
Hey, Nicole, you've been through some stuff. Okay. Love you. That's weird.
Wow. So there's obviously more that we can't go through now because we've run out of time, but we thank you, everyone who
Seriously
shared your stories with us and got us thinking about it. And guys, I think we've made some good progress here. And hopefully when all those college people are going to their college dorms for the first time, this could be the episode for reference for them.
And guys, if we ever become roommates, like when we're like 80, that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, but we'll all be in a home.
Yeah.
There'll be people there cleaning up after us
Yeah, even better.
in various ways.
Why? We cannot end on that note.
Be mindful, Zach.
Be mindful of odors and people and communication. It all boils down to communication.
It really does. Everything we've talked about.
Yeah.
Communicating about food, communicating about space, about schedules, about smells. Just communicate. Don't be afraid to talk.
Which
even if
comes
it's
with
text.
experience, though.
But don't communicate via passive-aggressive notes in the fridge.
No, and
Zach.
the nice thing is we're in a place now where we can do group texts and you can do communication that
would
way.
have been a lot better.
We had a
feasible.
whiteboard.
I would ignore that group change.
We would leave phone messages for people on a whiteboard.
I did have the whiteboard in the fridge. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. But speaking of communication, we want you to communicate with us about your weird roommate stories or roommate rules that we didn't cover here, or where you agree or disagree with us. Let us know on Facebook. Let us know on Instagram. Let us know on X, because we want to communicate with you.
Before we go, we want to thank some patrons in a couple of special categories, including the I Am the Listener tier, which is Mrs. Robinson, Casey Cummings, Juice the Cooler King Swallow, Cream Puff Casper Milk Toast, Jennifer Kilkowski, Taylor Sanderson, Saint Shannon and Sir James West, Rocky and Steph, Adam and Rachel Crump, Ryan and Marley, Lady Terry A. Finley, and Queen Zeno's got a big ol' butt.
Oh,
Again?
That's Scott. Hey, Scott.
Again?
Thank you for that. And then we have our Baking Council, which is Nicole D. Kale, the one, the only Chris Anderson, Stephen, everyone's favorite Ross, Her Royal Highness Jessica Terry, Star Wars expert Kyler, the other Brit Johnny English, our spooky couple the Madsons, the Glow Clen Daniel, Debbie Foster, and Beaker.
Thank you, patrons.
Thank you, patrons. You are the ghost to our apartment. But if you want to find me, you can find me at 76Joel on X, or you can find me performing with Quickwits. For more details, go to qwcomedy.com or go to the Quickwits Facebook page.
You can find me at X at Kenny3DD. You can find me Instagram at Ken C. Dunn. You can read my movie reviews at ShowtimeShowdown.com.
If you'd like to connect with me, you can do so on X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram at Zachary Western. But more importantly, make sure you're following Bacon Sale. Please like that Facebook page and then go to at Bacon Sale on X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram. After you've done that, go to tpublic.com/Bacon Sale and get yourself some merch. And then if you like what's going on here and you want to support us further, visit patreon.com/Bacon Sale. Support starts at just $3 a month and you can get access to all sorts of behind the scenes fun. And, hey, sorry, almost weekly Bacon Bits. Listen.
Sometimes they don't happen.
We love you. I'm sorry. It's my fault.
Patreon.com/Bacon Sale. So until next time, just finishing up this note here, and I'm gone.
Please never say etiquette again.
Etiquette.
I love the way that you're like, I'm going to be all fancy, but the first word out of my mouth is bathroom.
Yeah, dare you again.
Not the Lady Gaga soundtrack.
I was poor and I was selfish.
How can I shower in a way that no one will know I exist?
I would steal your milk.
What?
The Mooch, Phantom, and the Dad. Okay.
So
Joel's a hero. Everybody.
No, not a hero.
Joel, good job.
Hey, your stuff got stolen. You know that what that reminds me of? I'm awesome and I saved the whole building from fire.
I'm greedy and I stole stuff and I'm sorry.
Looking at you, Forrest.
No.
Oh, we're calling out names? Did you steal milk?
No, I'm not a monster.
I'm a 1% monster. Okay.
No,
I'm a skim monster.
That's cute.
Yeah, I'm 2%. The Phantom gets free food at Sizzler. He does not go to the kitchen.
That's why they're my rules.
You have to be challenged, Dad.
I'm sorry. I wasn't mindful about smells.
Introverts like invitations.
At that point.
Inconsiderate to shelf space. Let the roommates make out on the couch.
No
way.
No.
Where else are you going to mac?
There's cute macking and there's not cute macking.
Be mindful, Zach.
Be mindful of odors.
Shout out James.